spoke to him, but like, where is he? He's in his He's saying he came straight up to me, but like,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل السافلين إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Haidar Al-Ali. I'm a fourth year dental student at King's College London. On behalf of the Student Iraqi Medical Association today, I've just come here today to talk to you about basically toothbrushing, maintaining good clean mouth. Okay. I'd just like to start off with like a show of hands. Like, how many people have ever had bleeding gums? Bleeding gums. Like, how many people have ever had bleeding gums?
All of us.
What? Anyone?
Bleeding gums.
Quite a few people at the front here. Okay, bleeding gums is the first sign that you're not brushing your teeth properly, unfortunately. Okay, so basically there's like a build-up of bacteria around your gum line, okay, which is between your tooth and your actual gum. Okay, so how do you brush your teeth properly? Well, ideally you want an electric toothbrush. Okay, you should go for something with a small brush head, okay, and basically just rotate, okay, in circular motion. That's very important, okay. And when you go for something like that, okay, Oral-B is a very good brand. Okay, now before anyone asks, I'm not their sales rep, okay, I'm just talking out of experience, okay, compared to anything else, okay, all the other big brush heads, okay, there's no way you can get it right to the back of your mouth. They only vibrate, they don't really get rid of the bacteria. If you don't want to go for an electric toothbrush, okay, then a manual one will do just as good of a job if you use it correctly. Okay, and what you should do is you go for a small toothbrush head again with soft to medium bristles. That's very important. I see some people, they come in with like a humongous toothbrush, and when I ask them like, why have you bought that? And they just say, it's cheaper than the small one. Okay, they think they're getting like more toothbrush for their money. It's exactly the opposite. Okay, how are you going to get this huge toothbrush right to the back of the mouth? You can't really clean anything. Okay, so you should go for something small. Okay, now I've got a volunteer who happens to be my brother. Okay, I'd just like to demonstrate a few things. I'm not going to actually brush his teeth, but I'm just going to... This is basically what you should go for. Okay, small toothbrush head. Okay, soft bristles. Okay, this is Ali, by the way. Okay, Ali, you give us a smile. Okay, when you hold this, okay, you should hold it at 45 degrees to the gum line. Okay, and you just go with small circular motion. Okay, go all the way around. Okay, cover the top surfaces, cover the inside surfaces, open your mouth, the inside surfaces as well. Okay, If you've got an electric one, basically it will do the circular motions for you. You just hold it in place, okay? Hold it on each tooth for a couple of seconds, move it onto the next tooth, and that's it. Okay? So that's toothbrushing. Okay. No. Now, some people they ask, like, what else can we do? Okay, well, flossing is very important. If you've got overcrowding, okay, if you've got like overlapping teeth, you've never had braces, okay, your teeth are like that, okay, there is no way that these bristles will get in between your teeth. So it's very important that you do floss. Okay, now this is quite difficult to demonstrate, and I'm not going to floss his teeth because I know he doesn't do it, and people at the front are not going to be very happy if I start flicking things at them. But you get something like this, okay, 45 centimeters, let's say. You roll it up, okay, you make it into a thin strip, okay, and then if you were to go into his teeth, okay, you go in, seesaw action, form a C shape around the tooth, and then just pull it out. Do it on every side, okay, that's very important. If you have like larger gaps, okay, if you go to smile, okay, he's got like a gap in between his front teeth, okay, you can use something like this. These are interdental brushes, okay, very simple, just go in and out, okay, and that's it. Okay, much easier than flossing. Okay, but unfortunately they're not going to go in where you've got very tight contacts. Okay? You can have a seat. A lot of people, they ask, what is the best brand for toothpaste? Okay, what I say is anything that has fluoride. You can buy the cheapest supermarket brand, okay, as long as it's got the recommended amount of fluoride, which is 1,450 parts per million, ppm for short. Okay, as long as it's got that, that's all you need. And you should brush your teeth basically for 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes, that's it. No need to go any more than that, no need to go any less than that. When you brush before breakfast and then last thing at night. When you do it last thing at night, what you should do is basically don't rinse your mouth. Okay, after you've finished, don't rinse it all out. Just spit out the toothpaste so you don't swallow it, and just leave the topical effect on your tooth. Okay, once you're actually sleeping, because that's the only way that you're going to fight the decay. As long as it stays on the tooth, okay, whilst you're sleeping, that should be enough. Now, I'd like to talk about sugar frequency. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, a scenario more like. If you've got a bag of Maltesers, okay, 2 people, person A, person B. Person A would eat the Maltesers all in one go, the whole bag. Okay, and person B would snack on 1 Malteser every 5 minutes, okay, let's say, and only finishes half the bag. Who's more likely to get tooth decay? Put your hand up for person A. Person B? Okay. The thing is, it's not about the sugar, it's more about the sugar frequency, it's not about the sugar quantity. If you want to have, like the Maltesers, have it all in one go, don't start snacking on it. Okay, I don't want to go into the science of it, okay, because we've only got 10 minutes. Okay, but the basic idea behind it is, every time you have something to eat, okay, the bacteria are going to feed on that, they're going to produce acid, it's going to reduce the pH in your mouth. Now, when the pH is reduced, okay, then obviously you start like dissolving your tooth and stuff. So if you can, if you start, when the pH is low in your mouth, that's not good. You want neutral pH. So every time you snack on it, you're reducing the pH again. Okay, so don't snack, just have it all in one go, have it with a meal. Okay, and one last thing, do not brush immediately after a meal. Okay, that's very important. Some people, as soon as they've had something, okay, they go and brush immediately. So today, at the end of this majlis, when you have your lahm of ajina, okay, don't go and brush immediately. Leave some time for that. Okay, because bottom line is, when you've had something to eat, okay, you've dissolved a layer of your tooth. Okay, there's minerals. Okay, that's all in your saliva. The saliva will take about 20 minutes to put it all back into your tooth. If you start brushing immediately, you've lost that layer. You've lost it forever. There's nothing else that you can do to replace it. Okay. I'd like to move on to common misconceptions. Okay. Now, some people. How many people use whitening toothpaste? Show of hands. No one? Okay, that's good. One person said they've used whitening toothpaste. You guys use it. Okay. bottom line is, okay, and the harsh truth is, you've probably got yellower teeth than what you started off with. Okay, reason for that is, you pick up a whitening toothpaste, okay, you probably got like coffee staining or tea staining or whatever. Okay, you use it for the first week, you've got, wow, like your teeth are a lot whiter. But then you keep on using it, you want whiter teeth. But what you're actually doing is, okay, these are all abrasive. So they've abrased away the top layer, which is the coffee staining, but everything else, okay, that's enamel. Okay, that's the white part of your tooth. Everything else underneath it, okay, is dentine, which is the yellow part. So the more you wear away of the white part, okay, the more of the yellow part is going to show. Okay, so it's a vicious cycle. You think, oh, how come my teeth have gone yellower? Let me buy more whitening toothpaste, or I'll buy something which is even stronger. Okay, so try to just keep to like normal toothpaste. Now, one other misconception which I'll finish off with, okay, how many of you are scared of the dentist? Okay, significant number of people. Would anyone want to share like why they're scared of the dentist? Anyone want to share? Go on.
Because last time you didn't inject the right amount of numbness and I felt
Okay, so it didn't give you enough local anesthetic. You still felt pain. You want numb. Okay. Nowadays, okay, most dentists, okay, they've got different techniques, okay, of numbing up the tooth. Okay, you can give like topical anesthetic. You don't even feel the injection. And once you do, okay, once you've gone numb, okay, if you feel any pain, well, at least what I do is I just tell the patient, if you feel any pain, raise your arm. You can always give more local anesthetic. Okay, so that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Next time, just talk to the dentist, say, hang on, I still feel some pain. Dentists can't say, no, you're not, okay, because they're not feeling what you're feeling. Okay, so they should give you more local anesthetic. Last thing is, if we in this Majlis have any brothers or sisters that are interested in pursuing a career in medicine or dentistry, okay, then please either talk to myself or you can email SEMA, which is the Student Iraqi Medical Association. If you need any help, okay, with interview practice, application process, personal statements, okay, then in fact we only had an event a couple of weeks back, okay, which was about interview practice. So that's a good thing, okay, get in touch with me or anyone else from the SEMA group. And regarding this talk today about oral hygiene, I believe we have a couple of leaflets. Okay, so if you'd like, the brothers, I'll have the leaflets, I'll be at the table downstairs. I believe Sister Shireen, she's going to be with the sisters table, okay, where the sisters entrance is. Thank you very much for listening. Wow.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We just have a couple of announcements. We have an Arabic Majlis for ladies only for 5 days starting from Thursday inshallah, this Thursday starting at 10 a.m. It will continue for 5 days. An Arabic Majlis for 3 days also for men starting 2 p.m. starting this Saturday. Can I please urge brothers and sisters to leave the chairs for the elderly, especially the sisters. Please, if you can sit on the floor, do so, because we have a lot of sisters that are unable to sit on the floor. And also, we have a lost property. It's a bank card, Alliance of Leicester. Please come and see me for those who, for the person who has lost it. And lastly, can I request everyone to do qiyam so that we can make space as much as possible for the brothers and sisters that are standing in the hallways. رحم الله من ذكر القائم من آل محمد. Sisters, move forward, and brothers, move backwards, please. Can I request the brothers to move backwards as much as possible towards the chair. Sisters, just move forward a little bit more. We still seem to have some sisters standing in the hallway. Brothers, let's come forward a little bit. There's plenty of space behind me here on the stage. And now we would like to welcome Brother Nouri Sardar to recite poetry. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآل محمد. Firstly, I'd like to thank Salam Foundation for allowing me to read these past 5 days. I'd like to thank you all for listening. For my last poem, I wanted to talk about a 1,000-year-old paradox of the heart. A 1,000-year-old paradox that asks the question, Hussein or Abbas? Hussein or Abbas? These are the words written in tears, let them to you paint an image. These are the words written in tears, let them to you paint an image. When Jabir comes to Karbala, which body does he first visit? Hussein or Abbas? From the ink that flows in my pen, from the ink that flows in my pen, to blood that flows in Karbala, let these words rest within your mind. As to you I paint a picture. This land with bodies is ridden. This land with bodies is ridden and steps upon this sand. Jabir, yet his eye searches for but one. Is it Hussein or his brother? Which body will he first visit and upon them strike his own head? Even my words find themselves torn, as do the tears my eyes shed. Hussein or Abbas? Words that reside inside my soul, and each word wants two things different. Words that reside inside my soul, and each word wants two things different. How can I love intertwined flames, yet their own bodies lie separate? Between this Safa and Marwa, enchained in a painful moment, Hussein calls for him, whilst Abbas cries for the woman in the tents. Both voices break apart his mind. One lies, left by horses trampled, the other's voice never ending. Forgive me, master, I have failed. Hussein or Abbas, Hussein or Abbas. Why was I gifted hands to write when Abbas's hands were severed? Why was I gifted hands to write when Abbas's hands were severed? How can I drink for nourishment when Hussein's thirst? I've remembered when Jabir asks Hussein's body. When Jabir asks Hussein's body, he answers, go to my brother. When Jabir turns toward the river, Abbas says, bring Hussein water. I ask both Safa and Marwa, never will you leave each other. So why do Hussein and Abbas both scream, farewell, O my brother Hussein or Abbas? O Jabir, no, I am Abbas and I am of Ali's descent. O Jabir, no, I am Abbas and I am of Ali's descent. They are the sons of Muhammad, and to protect them I had meant. Yet tell Hussein I have failed. Yet tell Hussein I have failed, and plays on my mind this event. Women between horses running for this future nation's lament. Oh future people, forgive me. Oh future people, forgive me. I gave both my hands and my eye. I swear if my Lord allowed me, from my murder I would arise. Hussein or Abbas? Oh Jabir, no, I am Hussein. Oh Jabir, no, I am Hussein. Does Abbas in regret reside? Does Abbas in regret reside? When my back's broken after him, and my soul has died with his plight. He never once called me brother. Letters of his name I'd recite, not once did he look in my eye, not once did he look in my eye when Jabir, I long for his sight. And yet still, even with his death, my brother is ashamed near me. Jabir, tell all those who visit. Jabir, tell all those who visit to visit Abbas before me, Hussein or Abbas. From the ink that flows in my pen to the land with bodies ridden. From the ink that flows in my pen to the land with bodies ridden, Hussein tells Jabir, forget us, turn your eye toward our women, watch as they scream out both our names, as we lie on the ground fallen, as they run from tent toward tent, and as run between horses orphans. From the ink that flows in my pen to the land with bodies ridden, Hussein tells Jabir, forget us, turn your eye toward our women, watch as they scream out both our names as we lie on the ground fallen, as they run from tent toward tent, as run between horses, orphans. Watch Zainab upon my body. Watch Zainab upon my body. She calls out, oh my Lord, accept. And my daughters run to Abbas saying, oh Abbas, your woman protect. And my daughters run to Abbas saying, oh Abbas, your woman protect Hussein or Abbas. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. واللعن الدائم على أعدائه أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام الساعة ويوم الدين. Before I begin, brothers and sisters, there's plenty of space here and people are waiting there. يعني هواية مكان أقول بالأمام. هذا الجانب كله فارغ، أكو مكان 3-4. رحم الله من ذكر القائم من آل محمد. Put your shoes, the bag of your shoes within on your lap or whatever because it takes plenty of space. إذا ممكن أكياس الأحذية خلوها بحضنكم ولو جسارة، لكن مجلس الحسين يعني ما بي هاي كم يوم شوي نتعود على المكان الضيق وعلى ادعونا السنة المقبلة يصير المكان أوسع ونتفجر وياكم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. There is a well-known alim in Qom. He's still alive. He's maybe, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't talk about his knowledge because you may know him if I say anything more, but he is really knowledgeable. يعني واحد من الأفقه الموجودين. One of my teachers at that time, 10 years ago, I asked him, why don't you go to the lesson of Sayyid Fulan? He said Sayyid Fulan became a bit tired because, anyway, he became tired. If I say something, you may know him, or some of you may know. He spent 5 minutes in introduction, and 5 minutes talking about yesterday's lesson, 2-3 minutes about today's lessons, and then he asked for questions. All of a sudden he becomes tired again, and he go back to the Dakhlani, as they said. Now my talk become like the saying of that alim, because I'm not prepared. We need to make space with the salawat, with alhamdulillah, and then we end up having 8 o'clock and the Sayyid needs to talk. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Today I would like to talk a bit about the issue of hijab. And I know it's an interesting subject. The Sayyid, Jazakallah khair al-jaza, 2 days ago he mentioned it. And every year we spend a day discussing the issue of hijab, as it is a very sensitive and important issue. Today I'm going to talk about the ladies, the sisters' hijab, and tomorrow inshallah I'll mention the brothers' hijab. So I'm sure the sisters will be, tomorrow we'll listen more. And maybe one day after Ashura we'll do a debate. So like the sisters bring the dalil for the hijab for the brothers, and the brothers bring the dalil for the hijab for the sisters. And then we see who wins. But anyway, the issue of hijab is sensitive and important as it represents the identity for Muslims in this country. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are all blessed that the government here allow us to wear hijab. I'm talking about the sisters and even about the brothers. I mean, here we are allowed to wear wherever. I mean, if we wear decent clothing, no one will come and say, why do you wear this? I don't mean the low trousers, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Anyway, so when it comes to the issue of hijab, we are really lucky that the government here doesn't intervene in your hijab. If you go to France, for instance, the girls or the ladies are not allowed to go to uni with their hijab. In Turkey, they used to be the same as well. In Iran, at some time, subhanAllah, during Rida Khan, the father of the recent Shah, he prevented ladies from wearing chador. And look, that prevention make people more religious, and now no one is allowed to show her head in Iran. That was around 70 years ago. I do remember the old generation used to tell us that he insists the monthly payment or whatever, the pay slips for all of those who works in the government, he insists that their wives go and collect it with a scarf. At that time, wearing a scarf only was a big issue. I'm talking 1920 something, 1930 something, and this is if he allowed a scarf or a hat. This is for the religious, they wear it. Otherwise, everything would be prevented, and he prevented the gentleman from wearing amama. It's a long story, talking about him probably require a session. But going back to the issue of hijab, I think we should appreciate the fact that we are in a country which allow us to wear hijab, no matter what we are wearing, long clothes, as long as it is decent, it's allowable. So, we shouldn't take this for granted, and we should understand the concept of hijab, which I'm sure we all understand it. But just trying to remind each other and talk about it a bit. I found myself that, not only me, I mean a lot of people probably has found that the issue of hijab existed before Islam. There were few things, or so many things actually, Islam kept them, may improve them, develop them, but it was there before Islam. One of them is Hajj. Hajj was since the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim built the Kaaba, and since then people were ordered to go and perform Hajj. But not the Hajj which we're having at the moment. It's changed a bit. Like for instance, washing dead bodies. Taghsil. I'm not saying that because we plan to have a muqtasal here. Probably a couple of days time someone will talk more about that. But this washing dead bodies was there from the time before Islam. And the other issue is hijab. The Arabs before Islam used to cover their heads, and in fact, for a lady to not to cover her head means there is some kind of danger or whatever, and this was there till recently. Until now in Iraq or in some other places even there is a sign of a danger or whatever if the lady doesn't put the shayla on her head, for instance. And with all these things, while I was reading about it, I noticed that there were in the Bible some kind of notes or verses, whatever you call them, about, I don't think they call it verses, about hijab, which says in Corinthians 2, if a woman does not cover her head, she should have her hair cut off. And if it is a disgrace for a woman to have her hair cut or shaved off, she should cover her head. In another place it says, I also want women to dress modestly, with decency and propriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or expensive clothes, but with good deeds appropriate for women who profess to worship God. This is from the Bible. And I think until now we notice that the Jewish followers of other religions, they do cover the head. And giving this introduction probably will make us more proud that we still have the concept of hijab the way we are having it at the moment. But the ulama, some of them, they have few differences in the application of hijab, I will call it, يعني تطبيق في المصادر. Like some of them, they said that covering the face is compulsory, especially the old ulama. Now, most of them, they allow the face. يعني قرص الوجه إذا كان خالي من ما يسمى بالمكياج فجائز إظهاره، ولكن هذا إذا كان خالي من المكياج. يعني the face should be without makeup. The other thing is, which I would like to mention, is that al-hijab meant to be إخفاء المحاسن, to cover the point of attraction. So sometimes we notice some sisters, I don't mean you people, and I'm saying the same thing as Sayyid has said, I like you all and I don't want you to be upset because I don't want to lose you tomorrow. Please, until Tuesday, all of you welcome to come here. But some kind of, let's call, I don't know, they call it hair clips or whatever, nowadays in the last year become the fashion of the day. This is a bit, doesn't come with the hijab, because hijab meant to be إخفاء المحاسن. Anything which cause attraction should be covered. This is regarding today, and I would like to conclude by reciting parts of the ayah which ask us, or which order the sisters to wear hijab, as is the best thing to conclude by reciting Quran. I think time is finished for me, so أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون. This is the ayah 30 from Surah An-Nur, and this is related to hijab for brothers, which we are going to talk about tomorrow. It's linked. وقل للمؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهن ويحفظن فروجهن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا ما ظهر منها وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا لبعولتهن أو آبائهن أو آباء بعولتهن أو أبنائهن أو أبناء بعولتهن أو إخوانهن أو بني إخوانهن أو بني أخواتهن أو نسائهن أو ما ملكت أيمانهن أو التابعين غير أولي الإربة من الرجال أو الطفل الذين لم يظهروا على عورات النساء ولا يضربن بأرجلهن ليعلم ما يخفين من زينتهن وتوبوا إلى الله جميعا أيها المؤمنون لعلكم تفلحون. I would love to, if I have time, and we go through some of those ayat. Inshallah, we'll go through them tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. And the thing which encourages us to go through these things, that no matter what has happened in the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein asked Nisa bani Hashim, Sayyida Zainab, أمرهن بلبس الأزر في يوم عاشوراء. on that time how difficult it was. He asked them to keep the hijab, and not only at that time, straight after Imam Hussein was martyred, Sayyidah Zainab role was to keep the hijab of Bani Hashim, of the Hashimiyat, and ask them to stay inside the khaymat. So this is a very important and sensitive issue. I hope that we all try to نلتزم بمعاني الإسلام ليس في العشرة الأولى من محرم ولكن على مدار السنة, and I hope this momentum will be kept all during the year. وأخيرا أدعو الله أن يوفقني وإياكم لما فيه خير الدارين, والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
طيبوا أفواهكم بذكر محمد وآل محمد. الثانية على حب الزهراء بأعلى أصوات.